Death, Texas, and Tacos is brought to you by Arrowwood Law Firm and Grange Hall.
Okay, y'all. Everyone sit down, shut your damn mouths, and open up your ears. Because it's time for Death, Texas, and Tacos with my boys, Brad and Barry, the Klinge brothers.
You know what? A lot of people think I'm an asshole.
And you are.
Jason Warden.
Oh, crap.
And the OG ghost brother himself, Mr. Steve Harris.
Hey, is anybody hungry?
Have y'all ever wondered what it would feel like if the paranormal got kicked in the balls? Well, you're about to find out.
Steve's the only one that comes in and says, hey, have you tried flavored grapes? I say, no, only flavor I've tried of grapes is grape flavored
Got
grapes.
candy and Moscato grapes.
Yeah. And cream soda, Dr. Pepper.
Well, I'm on the diet stuff now. I haven't had a real soda in forever, and that's actually kept the weight off.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, the only trade back is you got that fake sugar that causes cancer. So.
Yeah. Saccharin or whatever it is.
The diabetes for drinking that, possibly cancer for causing this. Something's going to kill you one of these days.
You're going to die one
So
way.
did you switch from Coke to Dr. Pepper now? Because you were a Coke guy.
No, I still do both.
Coke,
I have
okay.
Diet Coke out there too in the garage. Just let me know if you want. Although you got your water there, so I see your
only
grapes and water. Steve Harris is being healthy on us.
Damn, what's up? Make me feel bad. I can only do Diet Dew. That's the only one that tastes like regular.
I think Diet Dr Pepper has
soda.
the closest taste
I've never
to
been
the
a Dr. Pepper person though.
How can you call yourself a Texan and not be a Dr Pepper person? You like Big
Diet
Red?
sodas for me.
You like Big Red?
I like Big Red.
Have you had Diet Big Red? Do they have Diet Big
Yeah, they
Red?
have
they do,
this
yeah.
Big Red Zero. It tastes pretty good. But well, anyway, enough about
our
sodas
health-
and our fat lives,
our health tips.
Yeah, our health tips. Yes, we're the last people you want to take health tips from. But yeah, Death, Texas, and Tacos coming here. This is our second episode, and man, after the first episode, it was a whirlwind of. I thought that there'd be a lot of people who were angry or maybe come back. Everybody was like supportive, and oh my God, you felt the same way I did. So we're going to keep that train rolling. Like I said last week, this is not about Death, Texas, and Tacos is not 100% about just bashing TV shows and things like that. But there's a lot of material out there to do that.
There's tons of material. And then, like I said, the comments I've been seeing, everything's been positive. I had not seen one negative comment. Our downloads are off the chain. We're like, you put the map up on the Facebook, like countries and every state in the union.
You got
has heard it.
Malaysia, Australia. Of course, we knew Australia. We have a lot of fans out there. UK, Norway. But, Asia's coming in with Malaysia. And I want to see that whole world map lit up. And we're going to do that.
Brad, it sounds like we have a lot more than our first podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve. How many people listen? So we had a podcast called The Cold Spot, and we did a couple episodes, and Steve was on it. And tell the story, Steve.
Oh yeah, Brad came to me and goes, Steve, guess how many people listen to the podcast? I was like, oh, how many? He's all 2. I was like, oh wow. I was like 2,000. He goes, no, 2. I was like, oh, 200. He goes, no. 2. 1, 2. I was like, what? Just 2 people were listening?
But
2 people.
That was before everything. But we were excited to have 2 people listen to us. I mean, we had a stage and there was 2 people in the audience, so that was fun for us. But now the world's our stage, baby, and we got a lot of shit to say. And this week, we actually just look at the world around us and figure out what we're going to talk about next. There's no pre-planned schedule of what we're going to talk about. We literally call each other and say, hey, did you see that? That'd be a good topic. Yeah, let's talk about it. Get together the next couple of days, and we're talking about it. But one thing that we wanted to kind of mention is that recently, Steve, have you been watching much TV lately? Like what I would call paranormal shows?
No, I honestly haven't been watching any paranormal shows. I did want to watch the ones you guys were talking about that came out Wednesday. Is it today?
It comes out tonight, yeah.
Yeah, tonight.
Ghost Nation.
Yeah, I want to watch that one because
Yeah.
everybody's saying that's supposed to be a pretty good one.
Well, one that we've been watching, and I have to admit, I've been a fan for years of that show, Ancient Aliens on History Channel.
Oh, yeah.
Even though some of their theories are kind of bizarre, but some of it's spot on, and they get way out there. But there's a spinoff of that show that came out, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, and they've had about 3 or 4 episodes now. It's called Skinwalker Ranch. Are you familiar with Skinwalker
I've heard
Ranch?
of it, but I don't know what it's about.
Okay, so there's this ranch in northern Utah that it's like, what is it? It's the Disneyland of paranormal. It's
Right.
UFOs, paranormal, cattle mutilations. It's got
Skinwalkers.
It's got skinwalkers, like
shapeshifters,
Native Americans, werewolves, and
shadow people,
shadows.
EVPs.
It's got the whole thing.
Like you said, it sounds like a paranormal theme park.
It's a Disneyland for paranormal. It's got everything.
And so what they did is they used one of these guys that's one of the commentators on Ancient Aliens. He's an astrophysicist from Alabama. Forget what his name is. But when you watch the show, you can tell he's from Alabama. He talks like he's from Alabama, but he's an astrophysicist here. All right, he talks like
got like 10 degrees. He's not just an astrophysicist. He's like
the dude's
every
smart.
degree you can think of, he has it.
Wow. And what he did is that they did this whole TV series called The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, where they put these people out there, him, another couple of scientists, an investigator, someone who actually investigates Skinwalker Ranch all the time, the ranch hands, the security, just kind of like a group of 6 or 7 guys that are investigating all this different phenomenon that's happening out on this ranch. But the main thing is that it's supposedly that the UFO hotspot, like UFO hotspot.
Is that the biggest paranormal thing out there, or is it
all
equal, or is it?
I don't know. Well, the story goes is that a long time ago, the Navajo Indians, and I believe it's the Utes, the Ute Indian tribe.
Yeah, Utes. They're in war.
Yeah, they were kind of against each other. Well, they were friends. But then when the white settlers came along and the U.S. Army came along, the Utes kind of turned on the Navajo and turned them in and got them kicked off. And as they were leaving, they cursed the land. And that's supposedly where this stuff comes from.
It always starts with them white settlers.
Steve did all about that.
You got to watch out for those white guys.
Watch out for the white dudes.
Yeah. But now they're talking about, is there a government conspiracy? Is it a UFO landing site? Is there some sort of base underneath the ground? So they're testing all this stuff and they're doing all these scientific experiments. And I thought it was pretty cool, because it's kind of investigative. It's very scientific. They're looking for the reasons. But once again, they have to bring the drama into it. And that's what's driving us crazy because, and we're not saying, and I love UFO stuff. I mean, when people ask if we have any UFO experiences, we have, in fact, and I'll get to it later, one of the scariest experiences I've ever had to deal with a UFO or something like that. We don't know what it was. So I was really excited about this show.
Oh, they have it's an opportunity to really do some really cool stuff. I mean, with just heavy EMF levels and UFO sightings and the ghost and all this stuff going on. But then all of a sudden, people are getting injured and feeling bad, have to go to the hospital right away, and the owner of the whole ranch.
The owner's a schmuck. I'm going to say it right now.
Shit, yeah.
He's this really rich guy. Okay,
that small penis envy where he's like, look at my Lamborghini, look at my $1 billion helicopter that I'm going to fly to the ranch. Like, the guy's a moron.
So he comes. Yeah, they call him all the time. This guy's got a Lamborghini or whatever he drives. He flies in on the helicopters and they're such a kiss ass to him. They're like, yes sir, whatever you want, sir. And he's always calling in saying, I don't know, guys. I think that this is a little dangerous. And
some of the team guys, I'll be there shortly. We have to take care of this. It's bad acting.
It's very bad acting. And I don't know if half the show was for this guy just to kind of show off his toys and the fact that he owns this land.
He's probably paying them.
What's that?
He's probably paying them.
Well, of course. Yeah, I know he's paying. He's paying some investigator. I don't know if he's a paranormal investigator. But this dude's full-time job is to sit out there in a surveillance lab watching TV, this shit.
Watch kind of like a ghost lab, mini ghost lab in this little like war room. He's got monitors and he can watch tail numbers of airlines that are flying over and just all this craziness. That's all he does.
Cool.
Then you got Dragon. Dragon's my favorite. That guy's a freaking
Dragon. I want to punch.
Dragon's like he's a security.
He's
guard.
a mall cop, basically.
Literally everywhere he goes, he has a shotgun. The helicopter lands. There's 2 guys there with armed weapons waiting for the helicopter to land.
I guess they're waiting for the werewolf to come.
Oh my god! He has this attitude. Oh, you're not going to dig here. I could tell you.
Does he have
dramatics?
Roll around on what was that called?
The Segway.
The Segway. Yeah.
Paul Blart.
Yeah.
Paul Blart. Exactly. But he goes by his Dragon.
Dragon.
I say Dragon. Well, I'm
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk. Call me Dragon. Will you call me Nighthawk?
Yeah, if you have to call yourself Dragon, then there's probably some other issue going on.
Then they got the ranch manager guy. He's the young kid. He always gets hurt. He got hurt once, and then I got hurt again.
But like weird hurt. Like his head starts to swell.
His head separates from his skull. Seriously.
What?
There's a lot of radiation and stuff. They've measured some EMF stuff. But I kind of want to get into that as part of the investigating part. I don't want to downplay the whole fact of the UFOs and how real we think they are and the things that we've experienced.
Right.
But some of the things that they do, like I just kind of shook my head in the beginning. I think it was last week they brought this guy with a drone out. Okay, because what they did is they somehow triangulated the radiation readings to a point that was about a mile.
It's RF signals, I think.
Yeah, about a mile above the ranch.
Yeah, in the air. I mean, somewhere up there's this massive power source that they don't know what it is.
A mile above the ranch?
A mile above
so
the
they did all
ranch.
these points around the ranch. They took a reading, and they all pointed about 1,000. I think it's 10,000 feet.
No, it's 5,000 miles.
5,000. Yeah, 1 mile.
above the
1
ranch.
mile above the ranch, dead center, was this unknown power source. That's where all this power is coming from.
And so what they did was so what did they do? They bring out a drone. Great idea, something that we've done.
Yeah.
Let's fly the drone up and see. So the drone guy shows up, big burly guy, drone company. He pulls up, and mind you, this ranch is out in the middle of nowhere. It would have taken this guy a long time to get there. He gets there, he fires at the drone, bzzz, he flies it up a little bit, comes back down. Okay, cool, let's go out to what they call Homestead 2. That's where like a lot of the paranormal activity is. He gets out there, what do you think happens?
Drone doesn't work.
No!
Exactly.
Man, you're good.
I didn't even set this up. Drone doesn't work. It can't connect. I don't know what the problem is. And then what I would have thought is, hey, let's go about 500 yards away, or let's go back to the house where it worked.
They went about 20 feet away and tried it
Yeah,
again.
he went about 20 feet away, tried again, then gave up. Said, "Well, see you guys later. I'm going
See
back
ya.
to the
I'm
airport."
going to drive back.
Another thing, too, because those things run on batteries. We all know from paranormal activity, sometimes it drains the batteries. He should have had an extra battery.
His main problem was
it wasn't connecting.
Yeah, it wasn't. The interface wasn't connecting with the remote to the drone. That was his problem.
Oh, so there's interference.
But it flew perfectly. He actually flew it up by the headquarters, which the one he had, he says $30,000. I mean, we're talking. This thing can fly for miles.
So why did he not?
Why did he fly from there?
Yeah. So why did he go from there? Just fly it from there and fly it over.
It's only
the
600.
spot?
It's only like 600 acres, I think.
Or you can even program it. He could fly out there by itself and fly back to home.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but they didn't do that. You know why? Because it was building up the drama.
It was
Oh my God,
dramatic.
there's something here that's draining batteries, that's doing all this kind of stuff.
It sounds like the curse of the producers.
Exactly. Well, it kind of gets better from there. Again, great concept for a show, but then they went to this house where some of the ranch hands live, and they said there's paranormal activity. They hear knocking, they hear all this kind of stuff, and so they go down to the basement and they find this sealed concrete room. They don't know why. It's just like a 10 by 10 room
with a hole in the wall.
And it's sealed. So they put a snake camera in there, and they're like, "Oh my God, I see a pile of ashes, and it looks like bones in there." So they get a concrete saw, and they saw out this big hole, and they crawl in there. First of all, they're tainting whatever the evidence in there by banging all that rock dust and everything into the room. But they get in there, and Mr. Alabama scientist guy sweeps it up into a baggie. And then they take it into I guess what we call it, their version of the ghost lab, and they have a microscope. He happens to have this electron microscope or whatever it is in this place. Anyway,
Pulled out of his pocket.
he looks in it. He looks in it, and it looks like bone fragments, and it looks like hair, and all that kind of stuff. And the whole time they're speculating, why would there be ashes in a room? It's almost sacrificial. What kind of bad, horrifying things are going on here? It looks like bone. It looks like hair. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Let's go. Let's go to the next one.
That was it?
What would you have done at that point?
That was it?
That's it. What would you have done at that point if you had samples of bone and hair? Or what you thought was bone and hair?
Go send it out to test.
Exactly. The first thing is send it out to test to see what it is. And then why is it in a sealed concrete room?
Right.
And why was that the only thing that's in there?
They did say, though, it wasn't human. That was the last thing they said. It wasn't human. It's too small to be human, but they're fragments. They're
fragments.
They're
How
not
do you-
full bones. They're like pieces and shards of bone.
But how would they know it's not human if it's a fragment?
And so this was on the ranch, right?
At the ranch house, yeah.
The ranch,
To
so it was
me-
underneath the ranch house?
It was like a basement or part of this ranch house.
Oh, and it was sealed. Okay.
Yeah, it was
To me,
sealed.
it actually looked like chicken feathers or
it looked
something
like
like that.
like a rat or some small varmint or something.
okay.
It didn't look human.
But whatever it was like they built this whole thing up and then
It's called We Don't Have Anything for This Episode. Let's throw this one in.
Once again,
to buy some time.
Curse of the producer.
So then, what happened? What happened after that last night?
Then they're gonna go. They're gonna do this experiment. So they figure this power source is about a mile up. They got this giant rocket, okay, with all this measuring gamma rays and radiation, whatever, in this rocket. They're gonna fire it up. But before that, they bought like 40 heads of cattle out there because back in the day there was a day like the cows are being mutilated during the day for some unknown reason. Well, the old owners built these like kind of like these outposts, like guard shacks with fenced in where they would put these cows to see, like, have them, hopefully they got mutilated to see why. Yeah. They actually don't call them cows, they call them biosensors.
They kept saying biosensors, and I was thinking...
They're talking about the cows.
Are they talking about the cows?
Yeah, the cows are now the biosensors. So, biosensors. Cows show up, they come out of the trailer, they all go in this field. Well, before they're going to launch the rocket, they notice that the cows are like, they're acting weird. They're all huddled together. No shit, dude, because you just put 40 head of cattle on a brand new ranch they've never seen before. And you're firing off a goddamn 6-foot rocket.
Well, what's funny is at first they said, look, they're coming to us to see what we're doing. Yeah, because maybe, when you're out, when a bunch of people are out in the field, have you ever been with cattle? They think that you're going to get fed, too. Right. And so they're all coming towards you. When they start firing off this rocket, the cows all of a sudden start running.
Like, what's going on? What's wrong with the cattle? Weird. They must be sensing the EMF. It's like, no, you're firing a damn rocket.
They should have had somebody from Texas
like, and you're cattle ranchers? What a morons, man. So anyway, so they fire this rocket. The first one fails. It like the parachute doesn't open, man. It crashes. They fix up another one.
And they put these sensors, like these EMF sensors, gamma ray sensors,
like radiation,
hooked to a cell phone inside this rocket.
So the second one, so they're about to launch it, and all of a sudden they go, "Hey, check that out!" They all pointed to the sky.
Now, this was cool.
This is really cool.
Hold on a second, Barry. We got to take a break, and we'll be right back.
We gonna take a minute to talk about the people who pay for all this shit. So do us a favor and listen up, because I might just have to slap your ass if you don't.
Have you found yourself facing DUI charges?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Have you had your license suspended?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
In the middle of a nasty divorce?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Then call Jeff Arrowwood of Arrowwood Law Firm. 850-244-JEFF. That's 850-244-5333. With offices in Fort Walton Beach, Tallahassee, and Tampa, Florida. He's here to help fellow Floridians. Call Jeff Arrowwood. 850-244-JEFF.
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Grange Hall, located in beautiful downtown Cibolo, Texas. For all your event needs, weddings, family reunions, birthday parties, or any other gathering. It has tons of floor space with all the amenities. Call Dave Weaver at 210-249-6822. That's 210-249-6822. And join them every Thursday for their indoor-outdoor farmers market. Grange Hall. Look no further for your next event location.
Now back to Death, Texas, and Tacos with the Klinge brothers, Jason and Steve.
All right, we're back. And Barry, what we were talking about before is what they were looking up in the sky and what they were seeing.
It was like this ball of light, bright white. This is the middle of the day. Clear sky, clear blue sky. This light is just like pulsating and moving. It's just, they're like, that must be a plane. No, that's not a plane. Every one of them sees it. They're checking it out, disappears. They're like, hey, fire the rocket off. Fire the rocket off. It goes up. Everything works fine. The chute deploys. It comes back down. They go over and they get the they were talking about it, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, there's the light again. Check it out. They're all looking at it again. It's just light, and in this time, there's actually a real commercial airliner flying
behind it,
and it looked like it started to kind of tail it a little bit.
Near it, you can see the trail. The smoke trail. It's flying, and this thing's kind of like, they say like following or tracking it or whatever. Yeah. And all of a sudden, the plane stays, but the thing just disappears. Well, they get the rocket ready and fire it off again. Yeah. Okay, that was pretty much the end of
Well, they're thinking that maybe that then like poking basically whatever's up there with a rocket that flies up that high is causing this activity, like causing whatever it is up there to activate or whatever. So they do that, but then what's funny is that for the rest of the show, for 15 minutes, I just have to hear Dragon sit there. Oh, wait, let me go back
Oh,
to
yeah,
Dragon.
that was right before the third rocket.
So-
we have Dragon.
So he pulled
his dramatics.
He pulled some dramatics, and what's funny is, remember on the show we had some people that that whenever they knew that TV time was going to happen, if they did something, they would do that.
Oh yeah.
So what happened was
Camera hogs.
Camera hogs.
Yep.
So what happened was that the guy who had the problem with the head, his skull separating, went to the hospital. Previous episode, half the episode was about him. Well, it looked like Dragon. He when they saw this, he goes, "Oh, I'm feeling kind of queasy, guys. Oh, you okay, Dragon? Oh yeah, I think I'm okay now." Like, oh, come on, give me a break. It just looked very, very fake, and it didn't have anything to do with it. But then the whole time he's like, I couldn't believe what I've been out here forever, and I've never seen anything like that. I didn't know what I was looking at. I couldn't believe my eyes, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah, it was great. He saw something in the sky. We go crazy when we see something like that, but don't spend 15 minutes of the episode going OTS of everybody talking about, I can't believe what I saw in the sky.
It was funny. The Alabama guy, the head scientist guy, he's like, "You're okay? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Oh, that's okay. It's cool. Let's get your crap together. Let's go." And the other guy that was sick before the separated skull thing. He goes, "Hey, Dragon, I'm glad you said something." You're a bunch of pansies, dude. God damn.
But
dude.
they're playing up the dramatics, and what pisses me off about it is that, man, they caught something really cool on
caught it
camera.
on video.
See, my thing
And
is,
it's like, talk about that. Talk about investigating. Fire more rockets. Do that sort of thing.
or even get if the drone didn't work, why don't they take a helicopter up there with some instruments on it?
It's
Just
probably
fly up
coming,
there.
I would think.
Exactly.
Something's coming where they're going to actually fly up there or something. Like
I mean, if it's a really-
ultralight
if it's-
or something like that.
Because with us, if we were that excited and it's really, and we all saw it, we were like, how much money does the TV station have? Let's send a helicopter up there.
Well, the dude that owns it, he always flies in a helicopter. My first thing, call him, get him in here, fly that helicopter straight up to 5,200 feet or whatever it is,
Right.
and see what's up there.
But it's funny. I always imagine like the aliens, like so they're in their spacecraft and they show up and they're looking at these guys. And the guy's like,
Hey man, do you want me to hit the death rate? Wait.
Let's watch him.
Yeah, wait. No, just look at this. Look at this. Oh, what the hell is that guy thinking?
Wait, do the little flashy light. Let's see how crazy they
Flash
go.
it. Oh yeah, you got him. Oh, now the guy's getting sick. Check this out. Nah, don't hit the death rate. We'll come back later.
It's like when you get the laser pen with the cat. They're the cat. And then they're
Yeah,
with a
exactly.
laser
That's what it
pen.
is. They're teasing. They're down
Teasing
there.
them. They're all laughing. Move it over there.
you know, they're all like calling the commander. Hey, look at this.
But not to
idiots.
discount the things that they've got. But like I said, cool show, cool stuff. I mean, look how excited that we got when we were in Montana State Prison. We're filming Ghost Lab, and that ball of light we saw.
That's right. I forgot
roughly
about that.
same time of day. It was kind of
Blue sky,
blue
pretty.
skies. It was towards the
Sun was going
evening.
down. It was at evening time.
Yeah, and that thing it looked like a fire and just kind of floated all the way across. And we videotaped it. We had it clear on videotape, but unfortunately,
Yep.
the
Got lost.
Yeah, the producers of Ghost Lab decided to
The evil empire took it.
take all of our footage of everything and not give it back. But there was that, and there was also the one. People don't realize this, but if you watch the Alcatraz episode of Ghost Lab, we may have caught a UFO on film on that episode. And it's right when, and we didn't notice this. We didn't notice it when we were there. We didn't notice it.
Someone wrote us an email and told us about it. We didn't know it.
So right when,
I have to look at that episode again.
well, it's right when we're on the dock and we all have the life jackets on, and I say, I think I have a life jacket on, and I say, we're going to prison. Right as soon as I say we're going to prison, it cuts to like a couple of B-roll scenes, and one of them it showed the streak. It's like a cigar-shaped streak, just goes zoop right across the blue sky, and it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's not anything like that. And I've actually had some people in MUFON take a look at that. You know, the closest thing I know to UFO experts, and they can't figure it out either. So
And drones weren't out that back then, were they?
No,
no, not like that.
2009.
It moved too fast, too.
Yeah.
It moved too fast. But, we may have caught a UFO on Ghost Lab. But I have to go back also to when we were at a paranormal convention in Houston. Well, actually, paranormal conventions before, like, we've met Travis Waltman several times, the guy from Fire in the Sky, the abduction. But this guy, Terry, what's his last name?
It's just Terry.
Well, let's call him Terry. Anyway, he has a book. He actually has a book out now, but it was a very, very cool abduction story. And I won't get into that, and maybe we can actually have him on one time and talk about this. But what he described was when this UFO that he experienced when he was camping when he was younger came up, it made this deafening woo, 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 was vibrating, pulsating sound. And it reminded me of, and I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot of people describe these close encounters with these UFOs that it can make, it's either completely silent or it makes this whirring, humming sound. The scariest experience I ever had was with the UFO.
Just when you were younger?
Yeah, well, I was married. I was probably 20-something. I guess my daughter was about 3 months old at the time. So I was about, 24 years old, 25. Okay. And it was at my house. We had just moved back from the Dallas area. Mm-hmm. My daughter was born, and we were staying at my parents' house while we were building another house. Okay, and I was in the back room of the house, and it was me, my wife, and then my 3-month-old daughter in a crib on the other side of the room. Well, there's a window in this room that faces the backyard. Okay, and there was a door at the time. There's not there now. They've remodeled, but there was a door that went out to the backyard from that room also. Mm-hmm. Well, about 1 or 2 in the morning, Jessica and I are laying in bed, and Brittany's asleep, my daughter, and this bright white, like clean bleach crystal white light comes through. It didn't make that sound, but like that's how I imagine it.
It's like somebody turned on a searchlight right in your window.
No, not just searchlight. It was like 15 train headlights coming through the window. Wow. It was that bright. Wow. It was blinding bright. It was so bright that you kind of had to squint and hold your hand up, and that sound.
Was the house rumbling?
House was every time. Yeah, it would shake. It would shake, and you could hear the glass things that are on shelves like shake and rattle. You know, we both wake up, and Jessica goes, "What the hell is that?" I said, "I don't know." She goes, "Go look." I said, "Fuck you, I ain't gonna go look at nothing." I mean, literally, just like the movies. Just imagine that bright white coming through, that sound. And so the first thing I thought is go get my daughter, right? So I belly crawl out of the bed, I slide down like a snake out of the bed. Crawl under the light, because my whole thought at the time was, if I touch the light, I'm a goner. It's either a sensor that they know I'm there, or it like sucks you up. This is what's going through my head at the time, and we're wide awake.
These humans are awake.
I go and I reach up and I grab my daughter. I pick her up like a 6-pack and tuck her under my arm and just roll back to the bed. Okay, and I get up in bed, and it's me and my wife and my daughter, and she's not crying or anything. But we're just watching and waiting. I'm literally waiting for something to come through and like show itself. I had a dog in the bag. Remember Elvis?
Yeah, Elvis,
the beagle. Yes. He used to bark at everything. I mean, the wind would blow a different direction, he'd bark, and he's silent. I said, "Elvis is dead. Elvis, he's gone."
He's quiet,
and I ain't going out there to look. Nope. This was every man for himself at that point in time. I was just trying to protect us, and that was it. And this lasted. I mean, imagine how long it took me to go from the bed to the crib, back to the bed again.
On your belly.
On my yeah. You're 30, 45 seconds. Yeah. And all of a sudden this thing is, zoop, it's gone. Gone. Nothing. Next morning? Notice I said next morning. I wasn't about to get up at that point in time. Some scouts running around the yard or something left behind. But I went out in the backyard, not a damn thing. Elvis was running around just fine. And that was it. I asked my parents, who were in the next room, "Hey, did you hear that?" They're like, "No, didn't hear a thing." There was no way you couldn't have heard that. No way you could have heard that. But that was our experience, and man, that's just crazy. And then even going back, we had experience with UFOs back with our older brother, back probably in the mid '80s.
Yeah, we were coming back from Windsor Park Mall. We were watching a movie back in the day when it was at Windsor Park Mall, old school.
Yeah.
Driving back in my brother's Monte Carlo, coming across Kitty Hawk Road, and we saw this thing way off in the distance. And back then, Randolph Air Force Base, we lived on Randolph Air Force Base for a while. The Goodyear blimp would actually come there every once in a while, but that's what it looked like. It looked like the Goodyear blimp with the words going across it, scrolling across the side of it. And so we pulled over and we got out. We thought we were watching a blimp. It was like pink and blue, like different colors. It was just it was kind of a cylinder, like saucer shape, if that, like it's flying saucer. Mm-hmm. And we watched it and watched it and watched it. All of a sudden, it disappeared, kind of just went away. And we looked straight up, and it's above us. This cylinder, pink and blue lights, I didn't hear any sound. I can't remember any sound.
I don't remember sound. I just
No
remember seeing
sound. But these lights are swirling. It's cylinder look. It's like a flat, like a saucer shape. Few seconds. We watch it. All three of us, not just me. It was me, Brad, and my brother Paul. All watch this thing. And all of a sudden, it just goes, just like vapor trail gone.
Jeez.
And we're all looking at each other. Holy
Get the hell out
out of here! And we hauled ass home, and that was back in the early '80s, probably when we saw that. And like I said, we live right next to Randolph Air Force Base. Now, there are people that say that Project Blue Book is actually housed at Randolph Air Force Base, which is the government's, I guess,
it was their documentation.
Their records of UFO sightings around
Right.
the country, around the world, I guess.
Basically, they used it to sweep it under the carpet and make people feel that they were crazy.
But that
So in other words, they were testing it on you guys, make you guys see if this works.
exactly. They see those fools in that Monte Carlo.
Well, I tell people that, and they're like, "Are you sure it wasn't an airplane?" It's like, you know what? Growing up next to Air Force Base, where the flight path is literally 1 block over, just by sound, I could tell you what the sound of every Air Force jet is, just by the engine sound.
And the flight line is literally 2 streets over from the back there, where that bright light thing happened to Brad. We're literally less than a mile from Randolph Air Force Base, which is where they actually train pilots. That's where you learn to fly for the Air Force.
I was about to say, Brad, I know your mom's house. I've been there. I'm surprised nobody else said anything. Because that's an actual neighborhood. I mean, you got.
You know what? We
houses,
never did
backyards,
go and ask other neighbors or anything like that. When my parents said that they didn't hear it, we were just like, I don't know. And it's one of those things where we were not dreaming.
Yeah.
I could bring Jessica in right now. She'd tell the same story. Yeah. It was just one of those things, and we just kind of chalked it off to, hey, that was a really, really cool experience. I hope it never happens again, but
a little close encounter.
It was scary. I have never been so scared in my life, and I've been to some scary ass mofo places. Let me tell you, something to remember. But I guess our point of this is, yeah, we've had UFO experiences. We believe those things are true, and you got a great idea for a show with Skinwalker Ranch. Talking about these UFOs, and I know that they're trying to add in the ghost thing too, because there might be some hauntings. But I would say let's stick with the UFO stuff, but keep out the dramatics and all that bullshit. Just stick to what the show's about. Stick to the cool evidence. Stick to what you're trying to do. Don't stick to these side stories.
Well, if you think about it, if you had an only UFO show, it's very scientific. It's very factual. But when you mix the two, the ghost and the UFOs, it gets dramatic. And the only other show that I know of, I mean, I'm sure there's others, but the one that comes on is actually Paranormal State did an episode one time. If it's in Washington,
they went
looking for UFOs, and they were actually almost like ghost hunting techniques, like calling out to the UFOs. And one of our guys, Shaw from one of our sound guys, from Ghost Lab,
Shaw.
funniest guy I think I've ever met. He makes great impersonations. He worked on Paranormal State, and he was there for that episode. And he does the funniest. In fact, I'm going to try to get the clip from them. We'll probably play it here on the show. But Chip Coffey's actually...
It's just like, what do you... He knows what to say when you're talking about ghosts. It's like, well, how do you call out an alien?
Yeah, so he's calling. He's like, blast down your power.
Blast your power.
Blast me your power. But we're gonna get that clip. We're actually gonna get the real clip, and it's hilarious. And it's like, are y'all... That's another one. The aliens pull up. It's like, man, check this fool out, man. Blast your power. What the fuck, my power? What
Like Chip's probably was like, what the hell do you want me to say, guys?
Power. What's he want? What you talking about?
I don't do this for a living. I talk to dead people, not fucking aliens.
I'll play a little something for you.
Hey guys, that's a wrap for Death, Texas, and Tacos. Stay tuned for another episode next week.
But we don't know what the hell we're going to talk about.
We don't. We don't know until we get there. So hey, stay safe and make sure you listen to our Death, Texas, Tacos podcast.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Death, Texas, and Tacos. And if you didn't, ain't nobody give a damn. I want to cry to your mama. But we know your ass is going to be back next week for more. Adios, suckers.